Hello, my fellow writer. Have you been a little worried that your picture book writing style feels a little sleepy? Like you're wanting to bring a punch to the writing and you're looking for simple ways to do that. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the active versus passive voice. I'm going to explain what that is and how we can use it to create more lively, engaging stories. And I want to preface by saying that in a past live event that I did here on the YouTube channel, I kind of promised this video. So this is my delivery of that promise. It came up when we were discussing different ways to write for children and how to, begin to use the best grammar and really understand English and the delivery of our sentences. And so I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty of writing styles here. I mean, we're kind of going into a deeper level of writing, and it may or may not be for you at this time. You could even save this video for the future if you think, someday I'm going to get around to that and pay attention to that in my writing style, and it's not for now. But wherever you are in your journey, you're going to find here on the channel, there are videos for you. I look to create videos that are for the very beginner who is just dreaming about creating a picture book and you haven't even really tried or maybe don't even have your first idea. And then others of you are more advanced and you want to go dig deeper into your craft with me. So today's a dig deep into the craft of writing. And let's look at active versus passive voice in picture books and what that is. So here in today's video, we're going to learn the difference between the active and the passive voice and how it changes the pace and clarity and when passive voice is okay. Now you're going to understand what that means more once I explain what the active and passive voice even is, but when it's okay to use, like how we can use it creatively. So first, what is the active and passive voice? The active voice is when the subject of the sentence performs the action. For example, the rabbit ate the carrot. The subject is the rabbit, and the rabbit is doing the action of eating the carrot. The passive voice is when the subject of the sentence receives the action. For example, the carrot was eaten by the rabbit. Here, the focus shifts to the carrot, the thing being acted upon. In short, active voice puts the doer first, while passive voice puts the receiver first. Now, it can sound a little complicated when I first define it like that, but let's look at some real practical examples of how the active and passive voice is used and how sometimes the passive voice can feel like a bit of a mistake or, a poor writing style. And then other times the passive voice can really bring a whole new creative element to the writing. And how do you know when to use it and in which way it's landing with the audience? First, I want to say a couple of sentences in the active and then the passive voice. And I want you just to listen and think about how they come across to you. I'm going to share with you a little bit about my day. MJ filmed a video. The video was filmed. Okay, I'm going to say it again. MJ filmed the video. The video was filmed. Okay, I'm going to say it again. MJ filmed the video. The video was filmed. Okay, essentially I'm saying the same thing, but a whole opposite way of delivering it. The active voice comes across with an energy that pushes the idea forward and makes you want to know a little bit more to what happened after MJ filmed the video. And it's really about MJ and what MJ was doing. Where when I said to you in a tone, the video was filmed, it sounds a little more final, but yet it could also hold some mystery depending on the tone in which the reader receives it. So it could be the video was filmed. Oh, I wonder what kind of video. But other times it could come across as really just more dismissive. The video was filmed. So this is where creative writing gets really creative. You as the writer have the chance to use active sentences or passive sentences to bring across a tone and how you want your reader to receive the information. I want to read to you 3 different paragraphs. I want to read this paragraph from an all active perspective. then a mostly passive, and then a balanced mix. And I want you just to discern how they land with you. Me saying here as a preface that there's no wrong or right here. It is a creative writing style, but sometimes they could come across as poorly delivered if you don't have some intention behind how you deliver. I want to use a paragraph about a chicken to show to you all active, mostly passive, and a balanced mix and what those might actually sound like. And you can apply these ideas to your own writing style for what you like, what appeals to you and jumps out here. And I want to say that I am learning a lot by even doing this video. I'm thinking about a lot of different ways that I could be using active and passive voice in a balanced mix in my own writing. So what does the all active paragraph sound like? A chicken marched into her coop, scratched the straw, and froze. She spotted a duck in her nest. With a squawk, she flapped and spun in circles around the coop. This is lively and direct. The chicken drives the action, creating clear, energetic movements that push us forward and makes us want more. Now let's listen to this same paragraph, mostly passive. The coop was entered by the chicken. The straw was scratched. The bird froze. A duck was spotted in the nest. The coop was circled with frantic flapping. Now it sounds slower and more distant. You might detect a little bit of disconnect there. The focus is shifted from the chicken to the events themselves, to the surroundings, and a little bit more of like the happening of the scene. And you might have detected there's more mystery, just like a duck was spotted in the nest, rather than she spotted a duck in the nest. Now, of course, there's the tone of voice in which I'm reading aloud, but you have to think about that even being perceived as if someone was reading silently. Now let's listen to the same paragraph with a balanced mix. A chicken stepped into her coop and scratched the straw. A duck was spotted in the nest. She flapped and spun in circles around the coop. Okay, so this balanced mix gives us mostly active with one passive moment right in the middle. I sandwiched it in between to highlight the discovery with a little bit of mystery. It keeps the flow clear while softening the rhythm and giving some variety. Hey, I just want to take a quick moment in the middle of today's video to just share with you something that's been on my heart and mind. I know how overwhelming this journey can be when you have a desire to write a picture book for kids and maybe you're feeling stuck at the beginning, you just don't know where to start. That's why I want to make sure that you know about my other playlist called Writing Picture Books, where I'm hosting a free class here on YouTube. It's over in that playlist and it's lesson by lesson, step by step, all that you need to know to start writing picture books for kids. It's really great stuff, you guys, and it took me like a year to put this together for you, drawing from everything that I know and all the experience that it's taken me in writing my picture books for kids. I've put into this class. I want you to find it and enjoy it and grow your skills. One of the ways you can grow your skills is with the companion exercise book that I provide a link to. It's an affordable workbook that takes you step by step, putting into motion and practice everything that I teach, because there's something really important. It's great that you're watching YouTube. It's great that you're listening to me talk, but it's time for you to start doing, to stop watching and start doing. And that's why I've made this exercise book to help hold you accountable to get going with your writing. So without further ado, let's get on with today's video. I personally lean towards the balanced mix, and I want to use more of a balanced mix in my own writing. What did you prefer when you heard those three samples? Did you like the all active, the mostly passive, or the balanced mix? I'd love to hear in the comments below. I liked sandwiching that passive sentence right in the middle of some active ones. So is passive bad? If you heard that mostly passive paragraph and you thought it was your least favorite and you thought, oh, it doesn't sound right, is it bad? So not automatically. We want to think of the passive voice like a tool. Most picture book creators and picture book readers prefer the active voice because it does give that read aloud energy, a lot of clarity and rhythm, and it pushes the motion forward like I've described. But using the passive is, going to give that way to spotlight the object or the result, spotlight the event, and really bring some mystery and tone. In other videos here on the channel, the writing picture books playlist in particular, I have videos where I teach about getting out that first messy draft where you let it all out and then do the process of making revisions and edits, passing over the manuscript with certain lenses where you're looking for certain things in particular. And I encourage you to pass over your manuscript with a revision using the lens of active and passive voice, asking yourself questions as you read the page aloud, thinking about what would happen if I convert a few of these active sentences into passive lines. What if the subject repeats too much? Maybe I would consider a passive line to add a variety to this rhythm, to sort of switch things up a little bit as the reader receives the message. And you can also just think how you want that reception to be. What kind of tone do you want to deliver when that reader reads? Active or passive? Maybe a balanced mix of both. Hop on over to my Writing Picture Books playlist if you think you want to dive a little bit more into narrative picture book writing with me. If narrative picture books are not your thing, which I think they would be if you've stuck with me this long in an active versus passive writing style video, but if you're more interested in concept books, I have a variety of concept book videos, how to make concept books, what are they, and even a video all about the latest buzzword in the industry, which is high concept books. What is a high concept book? If you've enjoyed today's video, do all the things that YouTube loves. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you never miss a video, give me a thumbs up, and share a comment on where you're at in your picture book journey. And do you like the active, passive, or balanced mix of both voices? I would love to hear from you. Check out all my links below. I offer one-to-one mentorship in picture book creation and lots of downloadable, printable resources to help you along in your picture book creator journey. Until next time, my friends, happy writing.